This weekend. Where do we start with this weekend?
I think there's only one place for it, to be fair. Connor, would you like to present your water bottle?
It's on. It's on, baby. It's on.
What's on just for
Wow.
the audio viewers? What is on?
Potentially
Yeah.
the biggest bottle in Premier League history.
It really is.
Is it a bottle though? Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Of course
Yes.
it is.
Yes. You've
Of
literally
course it
gone
is.
from about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Oh, quadruple. And now it looks like you're going to come away empty-handed.
When Max Dowman scored against Everton, I was exactly in that camp. I was like, oh my God, it's all on. Everything's going to happen. It's all going to fall into place. And now it is all coming crashing down.
Football's a funny game, isn't it? It's a funny game.
I don't know where you start, really. I don't know where to start. Should we start off? I started making notes on Arsenal to do a solo one because I was so ready to just absolutely rant about everything that's gone on. Well, first of all, start off with Lisbon. So we went and played Sporting Lisbon on Tuesday night. A real bore fest of a game. Like, you try and take little bits of positivity from it, but it was just so poor, wasn't it? The performance was bad. The slow passing. It was just like both teams were going for the draw. And I get it. Both teams going for the draw, first leg of the Champions League, the knockouts. We're going away there. We can nick a win. They haven't lost in 17 games at home, which is a mental stat. And they were decent. Diamande at the back. What a player he is.
Monster.
What a player.
Absolute monster.
I thought he was just one of them Football Manager centre-halves. Like they're decent, aren't they, the young lad? And everyone goes and signs them because of the next big thing. But are they actually any good? And he was bloody brilliant. Some of the balls he put over in behind were class. And then for Kai Havertz to score that goal, because it was bloody freezing as well. Absolutely freezing. We're up in the gods. We're second row from the front, and we got a massive net in front of us. And the lads who to the side of us, they'd gone at 70 minutes because they weren't serving beer. So they literally just went. And they missed the goal that Kai Havertz scores. But that goal, the scenes, I just turned to me dad straight away. Literally, the goal goes in, turn to me dad, we're hugging each other. It's just what football's about, isn't it? No matter what you've just played for 90-odd minutes, to score that goal, it's just the best feeling, isn't it? It's just the best.
It's probably a very, very similar feeling that Alex Scott had on Saturday, I would assume. Scoring that goal in that moment, in that game, to get that result. Quite similar. And I mean, me and my mate, we were waiting to go in at the Shrewsbury game and seeing that it had gone 2-1, and we were doing the same. We were almost hugging and celebrating and and then just counting down the seconds on FootMob then, waiting for the game to get to an end.
We score that goal and we're coming out of the ground and we're going, we played really poorly again, but we'll get by. And then we go to the game against Bournemouth, and God, where do you start? I think you start with the manager. In Arteta. The whole social media stuff that's coming out is driving me insane. First of all, you get in the week just before the Champions League game is the pens, and them all holding the pens whilst they're where do you start with that?
I think all of that social media stuff is nonsense. Some of the quotes that he's come out and said before, not necessarily before the Lisbon game, but before the Bournemouth game, saying, basically trying to rally all the fans up. The fans have been rallied up for 6 months. Obviously, Arsenal fans.
2 years, isn't it? 3 years.
23 years.
Arsenal fans know how important that this stage of the season is, obviously, and they understand that they're in the best position that they've ever been in to go and win the league. So I think it's almost like hype. Like, I don't even know what the word is, but why is Arteta doing that? Like, surely he knows the fans that are up for it.
He's done it a lot And he's done it a lot through the season when it's a big moment, a big game. And, he's had loads of comments like, everyone needs to bring their shin pads. Everyone needs to bring their boots. Especially when it's an early kickoff. He's always like drummed it up at the very, very start of his press conferences. I watch every single one, every single minute of every single one that he's ever done since he's ever come in. And he does drum it up at the start. He does. He gets the fans on side and he's like, right, come on. Especially a 12:30 kickoff. In the night games, especially when we were not necessarily the best in the league at that time, he was still trying to get people to come through the door and maybe stay for a bit longer than they naturally were. He's turned around the entire culture of the club. We've gone from a team that I remember how bad we were when he took over, the state that Emery left us in, and that's what all the Villa fans say about Emery. The state they left us in under Unai Emery, the players were just, any of those players, you wouldn't even look at. The one that won the FA Cup in 2020. Some of them players, you can't remember who even played in the game. We were a back five, defending deep, just not saying football, long ball football, trying to counter-attack teams. That's why we beat City in that final. So then, what he's built now and the culture that he's built, where we feel we can go and beat anybody, and we feel the nature of the players that we've got, we are better than anybody in the league. He has created all that culture. When they did the Amazon documentary and they were playing the Anfield crowd, weren't they? They Never Walk Alone as well. They were playing that in the training session. Again, without the Amazon stuff there, you don't know it's happening. But that, as a psychological point, I can understand, from psychology of sport, I can understand how that potentially could work and what they're trying to come from there. The thing with the pens and everything he's now saying, I've heard Gary Lineker and Micah Richards talk about on their podcast about that it might be the opposite effect. So it's actually trying to put all the pressure on him and go, why the hell are you doing that in front of the cameras? Playing that TikTok video behind the players training. It's all to take it away from the players because they're under pressure. But I think you're adding so much pressure to the players already. They are literally crumbling.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously all of that mounted up to the result against Bournemouth on Saturday, I think there's a lot of off-the-field stuff that's not helping the players. There's a lot of lack of rotation that Arteta just seems to just go away from.
You go about lack of rotation. We were quoted at the start of the season to say that we had the best depth in the league. I disagreed, right? But I disagree. Yep. On paper, it is. When you're taking all the players that we brought in, Madueke, Eze, Zubamendi, all these players playing at a top elite level. They're playing week in, week out. They're 35, 40, 50. Some people are playing 50-plus games in a season. They're coming from a club where they are the man. Eze was the man. Madueke, not quite the man, but he predominantly started on the right, didn't he, for you at Chelsea? So we're bringing in these players to add depth. But if you don't play these players, they're not going to get the repetitions that they need to be able to be ready to go and compete at the highest level. Kepa knows he isn't playing in the Premier League. So is his mind elsewhere? He hasn't got the reps. That's why he gets the goal that we conceded against Man City. So now we're playing Madueke over Saka. And Saka, by the way, 300 grand a week. What has he been doing? Since he signed that deal, he scored against Wolves. He's done nothing since. And then he's been injured. He's been out. Calafiori, can you tell me how that lad starts at left back against Lisbon, has a brilliant game, and I was buzzing he was back, then he didn't play. He's literally sat behind the bench because he's not even in the squad. How is he not fit enough? Miles Skelly, to be fair to him, he had a good game. But the rest of them were poor. Gabriel, poor. Saliba, poor. Ben White had, again, an absolute shocker. I love Ben White. Absolutely love him. I think, through the time when we were really pushing, he was brilliant. But since he's been out and playing through all his injuries, I think he's absolutely knackered. I think he's done. I think we've seen the peak of Ben White. I mean, hopefully he goes on maybe somewhere else because he's definitely going to leave in the summer. He's been poor since he's come in. He has been absolutely horrific. David Raya was getting booed because he's just taking too many touches on the ball. That pass he tries to do with the outside of his right foot, mate, to try and chip it over to the centre-half is an absolute disgrace. Why, at 2-1 down, are you trying to play that some sort of pass? It's horrific. To do that in that level of the game where we don't need that, we need to play fast and play forward. What's happened to Zubamendi? I tell you what's happened to Zubamendi. He's been playing too much. He played him and he burnt him out. Declan Rice looks dead on his feet. Give me other players. Martinelli. Brilliant when he came on against Lisbon. He only likes playing in the night games. Don't give him an half-12 kickoff. Terrible. What did he do in the game? Gyökeres, to be fair, he scored a good penalty and he scored that one goal that was offside. It was marginally offside. They happen. But the pass that comes across him takes a touch and then falls on his backside. That does my head in. When a striker, there's no need to fall over. Why are you unbalanced there? You're a professional footballer, and that's the problem I've had with Gyökeres since the start of the season. Be a professional footballer. Take good touches. Take good control. Take good shots. He's got better over the past few weeks at his passing range. He's got better at bringing in play. He's got better. But still not nowhere near the level. Kai Havertz didn't do too bad, to be fair. But then we're bringing on Max Dowman in the 62nd minute to try and change the game. He's 16 years of age. And I know people say, it doesn't matter how old you are, etc. I know that Shrewsbury Town, and we'll speak about them later, that Will Gray, he started, obviously, 17, is he?
Yeah.
I know what they say, if you're good enough, they should play, 100%. And Max Dowman is exceptional. But how's this going to affect Max Dowman moving forward? He's being brought on to change the game. I know he did against Everton, and that's probably the past. I just think the substitutions are wrong. When he makes 3 at one go, it's never, ever, ever worked. So why is he doing it now? It's never worked. Remember when he was at your place at Man United? Did he make 5 or 4 changes? Did it work?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I just think, I don't know. All them players, mate, need a serious good look in the mirror because we have got a massive game on Wednesday night. Huge game. That game, if we don't beat Lisbon and we go out the Champions League, and then on the Sunday the league could be all over. Yeah. Sorry.
That was gonna be my question actually after your probably deserved rant, to be fair, about Arsenal. I was gonna ask you if the result isn't a positive one against City on Sunday, where do you sit in terms of the league, and where do you sit in terms of Arteta being in charge next season? And the only reason why I ask you this is because there's been a lot of Arsenal fans not necessarily slating Arteta, not necessarily saying, oh, get him out now or whatever, but there's been a lot of Arsenal fans recently saying, is he the right man to get us over the line? Bit like Gareth Southgate, obviously we don't know how Thomas Tuchel's going to turn out. Bit like Gareth Southgate came into a club when it was an absolute shambles, like he said, with Arteta. He came and took over from Emery, built the team up. Obviously Southgate and Arteta kind of on the same trajectory. Southgate got to semi-finals, he's got to finals. Obviously, I know the league's a bit different in terms of its format, but do you really think if he doesn't win it this year, is he the right man to take you to the next level to get you over the line?
You see, that's why we need more views on this podcast. That's a great question, the way that you've posed that. And not other podcasts, like other podcasts I listen to, they literally just pose it as, well, is Arteta the right man for the job because they want the reaction? That's context. You've given great context with Southgate and in relation to Thomas Tuchel and where they're at with England right now. The first point is the league done. We've got a better goal difference at the moment. It's slim and it's marginal. And speaking to a few people at work, and they were saying, well, they win 3-0, it closes the gap, or win 2-0. We're going to lose on Sunday. There is no doubt in my mind. And I look at City's squad and I look at Arsenal's squad and I go, City's squad, mate, I'd take them all. They're just brilliant, aren't they? Yeah. Nico O'Reilly has to start for England at left back at the moment in current form. Don't give me Lewis Hall. Give me Nico O'Reilly, who, to be honest, play him in midfield, because when he arrives in that box, the way he got around that defender and headed it in, I know we'll come on to City later, but brilliant. But all their players, Bernardo Silva, just the way they play football, their approach to football. Speaking last year, I said how bad Kusanov was. Yeah. And I thought he was horrific. I couldn't believe he was playing for Man City. But then you look at him now and you're thinking, what a top centre-half he's becoming. And they got Mark Guéhi, who's come in and probably done what I'd imagine Eze, we thought, buying from Palace, would have done for us. Just coming in straight away and just hitting the ground running. But do I think it's done? I mean, we're definitely going to lose. I'm going as well, and I've got to go with the mentality that I think we're going to win. But the times that we've been previously, last season, I thought we were going to go there and we were going to win. I was so confident we were going to win, and then we decided to sit 11 players behind the ball and do absolutely nothing for the whole entire game. Do
I th-
nothing, play passive.
I think I have a funny feeling Arteta's going to do that as well, because he knows that a draw is probably enough.
Yeah, but why are we playing this way, Ad? I've never seen. I've grown up, and the reason why we're doing this podcast, probably like 2007 onwards, is when we kind of really started to grasp football. I think that's what we said. 2007, 2008. Will you tell me some of the best players that have played for Arsenal in 2007, 2008, building towards the years? You're talking Mesut Ozil, my absolute hero. You're talking Thomas Rosicky, what a player. Santi Cazorla, who we brought up 3 weeks ago. Jack Wilshere, who we're going to go on to later. Olivier Giroud, right?
Cesc
Fabregas, Alexis Sanchez. These players I've grown up with who are so technically gifted. Yes, we've spoken about some shocking defenders, right? But we've gone completely the opposite way to more George Graham 1-0 wins and the full, solid back four, which our back four I think is the best in the league. When you've got them all playing. Timber, Gabriel Saliba, Calafiori. That back four is unbelievable. When all the team then defends and presses together, etc., it's brilliant. But the attacking intent has just completely fell off. I've not seen an Arsenal team struggle so bad at creating chances of being technically as we play. The first season Arteta took over, we were very much backs against the wall, counter-attacking football, long ball football. Very much like that. And we won the FA Cup doing it. The only trophy that he's won. I get that. Then we move into a kind of transition era where we're starting to get a bit more technical players now. Then we start going for the league, and it's like, oh my God, we're going for the league. This is amazing. And we're playing fast attacking football. Martin Odegaard's at his absolute best. Saka is brilliant at his very best. Martinelli's ripping defenders. Yeah, Kai Havertz, Jesus up front. Just fantastic. Just proper vibes. Proper brilliant play. That's the Arsenal. We then played Man City. We looked small and inferior against him. We went toe-to-toe with them, and we couldn't match it. Haaland, I think, scored twice in that game. De Bruyne was unbelievable that day, just playing ball through to Haaland, and Haaland absolutely bullied him. Ever since that game, he then went and signed big, tall, strong players, apart from probably Zubimendi, but really increased his size, increased his stature, and now we've gone completely opposite way. The corners, FC, the set pieces, which are a part of the game, but I want us to score off set pieces, yeah, but I want us to score in open play. Do I think Arteta should go? Absolutely not. I don't think he should be replaced because of what he's created and what he's got us to. I understand what you're saying about getting us to the next level. I understand that, but I disagree with... I don't think... Does that ever work? I'll put that to you. Does that ever work, Con? Does it actually work, bringing in another manager to take you to the next level?
I mean, there's examples of it, certainly. I mean, I look at when, Chelsea sacked Ranieri at the end of the 03-04 season. We weren't quite getting over the line with him, and with the money that was being pumped in, they looked to Mourinho, and, look what happened there, 2 league titles in the first 2 years. So, you look at some of the other changes that Chelsea have made for a long time. It was a case of, we'll swap the manager will come in and have an impact, and we go from there. Mourinho won 2 titles in his first 2 years. Ancelotti won the title in his first year. Mourinho then won another title in his second year back. Conte won the title in his first year. So there's elements of it. You look at the likes of even like Man City, they did well under Pellegrini, but they wanted to go to the next level, and they brought in Pep, and Pep was always going to be the man that was going to take them then to that next level and to take them on. It's a question mark I've had over Arteta for a while now, and I've said it throughout this season. I think I've said it to you a couple of times. I said it to another mate of mine who's an Arsenal fan. Is surely if you don't win anything this year, are question marks going to be raised over whether he is that person that is going to springboard you to that next level where you are going to be winning things regularly, not just competing for them, but actually going the full distance and winning them and becoming that trophy winning force. And from what we've seen so far, obviously he's been in the job 6 years, 5-6 years now, and that's not quite been followed through yet. So how long do you give him to do that? Do you give him to take the club to the next level? I don't know.
I think you're in a real sticky situation if you replace him and then it all falls apart again, which I think is so likely. Because who realistically he's molded everything, is he? He's the manager. He is everything. You know, when Wenger left, he was the proper controller. He was everything. You know, when Sir Alex left Manchester United, the everything. I know he's been there a lot longer. I think you're in a real sticky situation. I think it'd be bad unless someone's going to come in and win something. But I worry about after winning something is sustainability after. We have to absolutely have to win the league. We have to. I really want to. And no matter how we've played this season, I'll be absolutely ecstatic if we do it. I won't even care how we played. And that is the problem. That's probably what he's going for, isn't it? Every single game, it's just get over the line, get the wins. And that's what he's been like all year. And it's just been because they tried to play the pretty football and didn't beat City doing it. So now it's like, well, no, we're just going to go proper old school. We're going to go back to teams that are just winning. And it's the winning mentality that he's trying to create. But as soon as not over reliance on set pieces, it's not. And that's more of a fans thing, I think, and more of an observer's point of view. Anyone who doesn't watch us every week just thinks all we do is set pieces and that we just score from them. We're really effective at them. But to watch them every single week is actually to watch, no, we're not creating enough chances. I am tired of the ball going wide, coming back inside, not beating fullbacks, but not, and I've said this before, playing in the inside of the midfield and having 2, 3 or 4 players interlink nice short and close passes, which to me is the Arsenal way. But that's the Arsenal way that I've been brought up with. My dad has seen the George Graham era, winning with 1-0s, the long balls. But how that's transitioned is into the proper football. But I'm not asking for Pep domination. And I used to always think when Wenger left, because we were predominantly a 5 at the back then, and we're trying to counter-attack, then actually I thought the fans wanted control. I thought they just want possession-based football. They don't. They want attacking football. I know every club does. I know that. But they want attacking football. They want, when the space is there, to go for it. And that's what we did 2-3 years ago. And I don't know who that manager is to take us that next level. But I don't want to say that now because we could still win the league. This is a massive overreaction to a few games. But it's not just the few games. It's actually the past couple of months. And also watching Arsenal since the start of the season, which I have, is we have been poor as a attacking outlet. We have. Not to my levels of Arsenal. But if that wins us the league, then I'll be absolutely made up and ecstatic. Do I think he's questionable at the end of the season if we don't win it? I think the questions are going to be asked, aren't they? I don't think the board will do anything. But I think questions will definitely be asked.
His contract's up fairly soon, isn't it, as well? Has he got a year left or something on his contract?
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether it's a case of maybe even he decides if he can't get them over the line, maybe he decides, you know what,
He might do that.
walk away from it. He might do that.
I
mean, I think certainly if Pep doesn't go this summer and waits till next summer, it wouldn't shock me to see him as a contender for the Man City job. I think he'd irritate a lot of Arsenal fans by doing that, but it certainly wouldn't surprise me to see him as a contender. But I could also see him going over and managing, Barcelona when Hansi Flick goes, because I think he might have only just recently signed a new deal over there, but I certainly see him as a contender.
I just want to say a little bit
for that.
on Hansi. Is there some stat, and I might be wrong, every season he's been a manager, he's won the league? Obviously, he's only been at Bayern Munich. I understand that.
I'm pretty certain that you're correct in that saying.
Because I know he's fairly new to the managerial game, isn't he? Like, he went straight in at Bayern, and we were doing the 23 Sport blog over the COVID times. That Bayern Munich side was class, wasn't it? The Leon Goretzka, the Kimmich. Oh, my God, what a side.
That was when Alphonso Davies broke into the Bayern team on it, and he was unbelievable at left back.
Oh, mate, he was unreal, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And that Hansi Flick side was just incredible.
They just overrun you, weren't they? They were so it was so press resist, they were so press heavy, but they were so fit, that entire squad. They just run over you.
Oh, massively.
Couldn't get anywhere near them.
I tell you who, like you're saying about like managerial changes. For me, if they were, and we're talking hypothetical now, but I don't think they are. because I love Arteta and I love what he's given to us as a club. He's completely transformed us. If we were, and he was to do what you said, Con, and leave, it has to be all the eggs in Cesc Fabregas' basket. It has to be. And if he does not decide to come, because he might not, because they're doing great at Como, I think, and I say this left field now, I think Inzaghi. I think he could come in and really change us as I remember watching that Inter team and thinking that is how you play football. Defensively solid. When you get the ball, you are playing fast attacking football. And I think that would be brilliant in the Premier League. But I'm not sure about his persona. But I think he's quite like Arteta. I think he's ruthless. I think he'd be brilliant. But we could end up playing the same way. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, any more on Arsenal you wanted to say?
I think that's covered all bases.
Covered all bases.
We should move on from a team that can't score goals to a team that can't stop at the minute in Man City.
So dominant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, I'll let Con take the reins on this because obviously they did beat his beloved Chelsea over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it went into the game not expecting to win anyway, and obviously there's a part of me that is delighted that the gap is closing on Arsenal at the top of the league. But I mean, it was just complete and utter from the moment they came out for that second half. It was always going to be City's day. I thought Chelsea started quite brightly in the first half. The first maybe minute or two, City had control, and all of a sudden we started to be able to break them down and get forward. One of my biggest frustrations is the wide players, the amount of times they were being caught offside. Cucurella, Neto, Estevao, horrific. You're out wide, you can look across the line and see whether you are in front or gone beyond those defenders. Get yourself onside. That's not a difficult thing to do. And yeah, the second half, what Pep had said at halftime, I don't know, but whatever it was, it clearly worked. And whatever Rosini said at halftime, just like any other team talk he's ever done, clearly didn't work. City just came out and they just went full throttle and were just fantastic. I mean, Ryan Cherky, what a player.
He is, mate.
A serious baller. I mean,
yeah.
I watched him in the Carabao Cup. I think it was the quarterfinal at home against Brentford at the Etihad for that. And I mean, just the way he brought a ball down and he took players on and he moves with the ball and, he scored a rocket of a goal that night as well. And yesterday, just getting into those pockets of spaces, being able to turn. And it was like, we were going to let him do whatever he wanted to do, basically, because don't want to stick a foot out here, I'll give away a free kick, rather than somebody just going in and just absolutely smashing him. And, that typical, let him know that you're there. He's the sort of player that needs that. He needs to know somebody's there and somebody's going to...
but that's gone, mate.
I mean...
That's gone.
Yeah,
the game has completely changed.
The game's completely changed, and so too have the players. I look at that Chelsea squad yesterday, and I just think every single one of them soft.
Weak, innit? Weak.
And I look at the benches, and you look at the players City had on their bench yesterday. A stacked bench of players that would walk in to that starting 11 at Chelsea and probably a lot of other Premier League clubs as well. And then you look at our bench, and you just think, hang on a minute. If we need somebody to come on and change the game here, we've got Liam Delap, who just wants to shoulder barge everybody and have a wrestle.
Hit people.
Liam Delap will be class this weekend. It's WrestleMania. He'll be on top form. But, any other weekend, useless.
Is it WrestleMania this weekend?
It is, yeah. Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
Oh, mate, the next podcast we've got to do at the weekend is we've got to do the Royal Rumble. We had that idea, didn't we? We said about the Royal Rumble. We're doing that. The next one we're doing. Tune in next time because we're doing the Royal Rumble. Absolutely.
And City were just fantastic. We've mentioned Nico O'Reilly already. What a player. They were saying yesterday he's appeared in 45 of Man City's 50 games this season. He is having an unbelievable breakthrough season. He has got to be Young Player of the Year, 100%. The impact and the change that he's had at City is unbelievable. The fact that he's a number 10 by trade and is now being shoehorned into playing left back and drifting in to that midfield area, unbelievable. He's growing
phenomenally. Game by game, isn't he? And that's what for me is, he started off a little bit not shaky, but you're like, well, why is he playing left back? But that's what he does, Pep. But when you've got 10 other players who you don't even know Nico Riley's playing, and then suddenly he's getting better and better because he's getting more reps under his belt, and City are under the radar, no one's really thinking, well, they have to win. They're not really challenging for the title. Now they are going to win the whole thing. But I don't want to talk about City. Gone. Chelsea, 48 points. Brentford, Everton, on 47. Also, Brighton can go above you if they win. Sunderland can go above you if they win. Yeah. Bournemouth, just behind you slightly. They're on 45. Mate, what are you going to do if Sunderland, I mean, you say Sunderland as a name, right? It isn't, is it? It isn't the big name, but they've been playing really well this season. But if they, Brighton or Everton or Brentford, if they finish above you, I
think there's a genuine chance of all of them finishing above us.
Do you think?
Yeah, I really do. I don't see what the setup is. We are not set out to go and win games of football. It is so negative. It's so dire. It's, Moises Caicedo has gone from being one of the best midfielders in the world to looking like R-Truth's gone in for a game now, and he's all over the place. Like it looks like someone's told R-Truth to go and have a game of football.
That's a great analogy. That is R-Truth in centre midfield. That's unbelievable.
What's up?
I'll tell you what's up. It's Liam Rosinia, it's Blueco, it's Clearlake, it's Todd Bowley, it's Joe Shields and Paul Winstanley have not got a clue between the lot of them how to run or operate a successful club. We are taking massive, massive backward steps in terms of where we are going.
Just beaten Port Vale 7-0. What's wrong with you?
And most other teams in League One have beaten Port Vale this season.
So your past results, like so you lost against us, and I think that wasn't where it really started to change, was it? Was it? Because you lost to us, you then beat Villa away, then you won against Wrexham, then you lost against PSG, got battered, then you went and lost at home against Newcastle, then you lost 3-0 against PSG.
That was a bad one.
Then you lost 3-0 against Everton.
Yep.
It was just below you, so they could catch you. Then you go and beat Then you go and beat Port Vale 7-0. Now you've lost to City 3-0. You've got Man United next and Brighton away. So you got Brighton who are chasing you. You got Man United, who's Michael Carrick's Barmy Army, who's just seem to keep ploughing on. Yeah. Then you've got Forest at home when they're fighting for their lives. They're not going to be an easy game. You've then got Liverpool away. You don't know what Liverpool could turn up. You got Tottenham then at home, again fighting for their lives, but I really hope you put the nail in the coffin for them.
That's the biggest game that worries me. Is that Tottenham home game. Because I feel like that could be the game that potentially relegates them.
Yeah, but you could be 10th by that point.
Or could keep them up.
You could be 10th.
Yeah.
You could be 10th fighting for Conference League.
Honestly, I genuinely think we will be. I don't know. I think Forest at home would probably win.
Do you?
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
I think we probably beat Forest at home, and that is genuinely
their lives. They can't afford to lose Forest.
But that's genuinely the only match in our running that I could say, yeah, I think we'll win that one.
Would you sack him now?
Of them, yeah.
Would you?
Oh, Coleman would have sacked him 2 months ago.
I'd have never appointed him, to be honest. I've never have appointed him.
What is it? Because is it his demeanour, or is it the way he's playing football? What is it? Because for me, it's more
both.
About his demeanour and how he comes across.
I think it's both. I mean, the thing that really irritates me is when he's doing his interviews pre-match and post-match, and it looks like he's reading off a script because he's just looking down. And I just think, has he got something there where he's got some notes on that they're the sort of key points that he's trying to get across? That he's got there written down. None of it's sincere. None of it's believable. It's, it is, quite frankly, a load of bull.
Who would you get in then? Come on. Who
would I get in? Do you know what? I said it. When did I say it? I think, when we sacked Graham Potter, and then again when we sacked Pochettino, I said what we should do is bring Jose back. Somebody who gets the club, somebody who knows how to win and how to be
Can't
successful.
always just go back to Jose though, can it?
No, but this is my plan, is that Jose comes in and you get John Terry in as the assistant gaffer. And you give Mourinho 2 years. You give Mourinho 2 years and then you put John Terry up, because you know that even if it goes to
Have
even
you
if it
seen
goes
his
sour,
TikToks at the minute?
mate,
Mate, get a life.
although we can't probably get him in now because he's about to buy Colchester United, isn't he, as part of a consortium?
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's
wow.
about to take over at Colchester,
That's
apparently.
Danny Cowley out of a job then.
But yeah, I was saying that, I take Jose back for a third spell. But you look at the managers we've appointed in recent years. We used to get the best or some of the best managers in football. We had Mourinho. Scolari was very well thought of when he came in. Didn't exactly turn up and do great things, but he was a big name. Ancelotti was a big name. Andre Villas-Boas came in as an up-and-comer, failed. Mourinho came back. Conte was a big name. Tuchel was, a fairly big name. And you look at then the appointments since then of Potter, of Pochettino, of Maresca, of Rosinia, and you look at those and you go, how many of them, a little bit like the conversation we've just had about Arteta, how many of them are actually going to take us to that next level? Yes, Maresca won the Conference League and we won the Club World Cup, but that in the terms of things, yes, they're a trophy, but they're pretty irrelevant. They're not. You're not looking at those going, "Whoa, what a season!" Yes, we did have a good season. We got Champions League football. We won, 2 trophies. Brilliant. But were we going to go to the next level under Maresca? Probably not. But were we looking at being better prepared for the next level under Maresca than we are currently? Absolutely. Liam Rosinia is not the person that is going to take Chelsea Football Club to the next level. And we never should have sacked Tuchel in the first place. That was those new owners coming in, wanting to stamp their authority on it, didn't like the fact that he wanted to have control or some say or control over transfers and over the players that were coming in. So removed him after, I think he was only in charge for like 5 weeks when they took over, and then they quickly got him out.
I could see you going for a Wilfred Nancy.
No.
Do you know what?
American consortium, mate. I could see it.
I could see Fabregas. I think Fabregas is a name that they had considered.
No. Do you know who wouldn't surprise me? Ruben Amorim.
No.
He's a Chelsea manager, isn't he?
No.
See, I think Gareth Southgate could be a shout.
I'd absolutely 100% take Gareth Southgate. 100% I would have Gareth Southgate, even if it's just for a year or 2 years, just to try and bring a little bit of unity, a little bit of organisation, maybe a little bit of that calmness, because I think at times we've had managers where it's maybe been a bit too full throttle and a bit too much, and we've had other managers like Liam Rosinia who I just think are like so far laid back. Everything's great, everything's fine. We we age the men. I'm not being funny. There were no men playing in that squad yesterday. No. There's still such a young group of players, and then I see talk about
who's the worst?
The worst player?
Who's actually playing, not just
Well, like what? Garnacho?
What?
Liam Delap, terrible. Jamie Bino Gittins, absolutely horrific player. Benoit Badiashile, what?
You saying about Moises Caicedo being our truth, you could say that Alejandro Garnacho is John Cena because you can't see him.
I mean, he might as well be the Undertaker. He'd be best off. Plays like he's dead, not there. It's just, I mean, you look at that squad and you go, where is the actual bits of quality? Reece James when he's fit, Caicedo and Enzo when they're on the game, Cole Palmer, and then João Pedro if he fancies turning up. The one thing actually that really irritated me in the game yesterday was Pedro Neto. And the fact that wherever the microphones were, you could hear Liam Rosinia consistently going, "Go Pedro, go Pedro, go Pedro, go Pedro," telling him to go and press, and Pedro Neto just sauntering about.
So how are you playing?
He moves slightly towards the player, and you've got Liam Rosinia go, "Yes, yes." What are you applauding there? He's taken 2 steps towards the player.
Effort, yeah.
And I'm thinking, is that just Pedro Neto's ego and arrogance that I'm not pressing, I'm not defending, because when he gets the ball and he runs with it, he can sometimes be great at doing that, but he doesn't do the other stuff. Or is that, that he's already lost the dressing room and the players just are not playing for him and are not responding to what he is trying to get across? And I think it's probably a mixture of both of those. Cole Palmer has looked, I mean, he's not had a great season. His injuries really set him back. I think the best thing for Cole Palmer will be to not go to the World Cup this summer and to have the surgery that he needs and to recover from that and go again. And I don't think his
He'll
form
recover his
puts
form
him on
when
the
he
plane
goes
for
to
the
Man
World Cup.
United.
I was about to say that, yeah. He's been secretly twerking for Man United all year, so
Yeah,
he'll
he'll
be
go
at
there.
United. If Bruno leaves, which I really hope he doesn't, but if Bruno leaves, that'll be the replacement. It'll be Cole Palmer.
What? Just the last thing on Chelsea. What's happening with Enzo Fernandez?
Well, I mean, it looks very likely we're certainly not going to get Champions League football or European football at all. So if we don't get Champions League football, I think he will certainly go this summer.
Yeah, but is he going to play again?
Yeah, he's going to. Oh well, he's going to play again because he's said sorry apparently, and they've made it all up.
Why didn't he play against City then?
Because he'd given him a 2-game.
What's
he said
that
he was going to
about,
sit out
mate?
the
A 2-game ban?
But
What is
it's
he,
also
a kid?
It's also pointless because he probably wasn't going to play against Port Vale anyway. I mean, I know we did go actually stronger than I expected us to go against Port Vale. It was, we did put out.
Yeah, what's he going to care? He's
strong
on like
squad,
200 grand a
but-
week. Oh, you're not going to play me at home against Port Vale. Who cares? Mate,
yeah,
absolute
I
joke.
think
The
I
management
think
of
he
that
will
lad.
play again, but I
Treating
don't
him
think
like a
he'll be a Chelsea
schoolboy.
player next season. He will
Shocking.
not be there next season. Well, to be
Great-
honest, I hope
he's had a
half the
great
squad
season,
aren't there
hasn't
next
he, as
season.
well?
Yeah.
Should we talk
Yeah.
about a team that's not going to be in the Premier League next season? In
Mate, how
Tottenham
bad
Hotspur.
is that?
Spursy.
That is. Obviously, I know we spoke about De Zerbi going in, Al Nige going in at
Yeah.
Tottenham, and I said to you, didn't I? I said they will not beat Sunderland at home.
I thought they
said-
would. I thought they would.
And honestly, mate, now do you see the possibility of them going down?
No, because they're going to beat Leeds. That was my second one. They're going to beat Leeds.
Basically,
I don't know why I
Liam's
want
just-
them to. I just think he needs it for the Premier League. I think they need to be in the Premier League.
Liam is
you know.
basically cursing Tottenham every single time he says that they're going to win a game. They end up losing the game. So,
But did
he
you think they
secretly
played?
wants
Did you
them to
think
go
they played
down.
badly?
I thought they played all right. They started all right. Anyway, they started quite fast and they were attacking well. And Richarlison looked dangerous to begin with, and they created some chances, but they just couldn't take them. And then when the Sunderland goal went in, I mean, hell of a deflection, but he was just given so much time and space to move inside and get that shot away. And after that, they didn't really offer too much then.
But so many people are looking at the squad and going, "Oh yeah, would you have him in your squad?" So let's go through them. Would you have them in your squad? Tottenham edition. Okay, Kinski,
No,
Porro,
No,
no,
Romero,
no,
no,
Van der Ven.
yes.
yes.
Based upon what? The fact that he could start
Based
under
on-
Postecoglou.
I think he's a good defender. He's quick, and I think he's half decent. Van der Ven. I like
He
him.
wouldn't start for United, but he'd be in the squad.
Would you have what's his name? Totti at Wolves.
No,
No,
Would you have Mavropanos at West Ham?
no,
Right,
No.
they're all teams in relegation zone. Apart from West Ham, Burnley. Would you have any of their defenders? No, but you
No.
have Vicky Van der Ven. Yeah, go on.
but I'd
Right,
have
Udogie.
No.
Jared Bowen from West Ham, and I'd have Elliot
Yeah, but he's an
Anderson from
attacking
Nottingham
player.
Forest.
It's easy to get an attacking player, isn't it? I'm talking about like when you having like a defender. They're in the relegation going for a reason because they can't defend. Yet you'd have Vicky Van der Ven because he was class for like 2 months under Postecoglou.
I'd have Elliot Anderson from Forest. I'd probably even take Murillo from Forest, to be honest. Over some of the car crash defenders we've got, Murillo's better than Benoit Badiashile.
Right. Okay. Udogie.
no,
Again, he had a good couple of months under Postecoglou, but we don't want him. Archie Gray,
No,
no,
Gallagher.
Yes.
Yes.
What, just because he runs about?
Yeah.
Can't defend.
Right.
Basically
Kolo
does what Declan
Muani.
Rice does. No.
Conor Muani, no, not a
What?
chance.
Shut up. Does what Declan Rice does. Declan Rice is amazing. Kolo
He's
Muani.
probably run more than Declan Rice in these last few games.
Oh,
No,
Probably
I
yes.
stop
wouldn't
it.
have Kolo Muani, no.
No, not a chance.
But a lot of people are saying that, like, they're looking at fire sale, aren't they? If they go down, like, oh, Kolo
Yeah.
Muani, good player. No, I'm not having it. Right, the
No.
worst player in the team, Bergvall, absolute
Yeah,
pony.
No,
Terrible.
no, not a chance.
Richarlison,
No,
Solanke.
no,
We go to their bench. Austin,
no,
No.
Bissouma
No.
plays when he wants. I thought he'd have played under Zerbi. Kevin Danso,
no,
the worst Austrian to ever play in the Premier League. Dragusin,
no.
the worst Romanian to ever think that he should be starting in the Premier League. That lad's ego is bigger than his actual performances.
Yeah.
Paulinho,
No,
Papisar,
no.
absolutely. Oh, he's horrific. Xavi Simons.
No, I'm so glad we didn't sign him in the summer.
Thank
Because
God you
he's been
said no.
pony.
Yeah. Jed Spence defends when he wants.
If he was the last right back on earth I'd ever met, you know. Maybe.
Mateus Tell.
No,
Oh, no.
How much did they sign him for?
like
42,
too
wasn't it?
much.
I tell you
Too
who you
much.
would have, though. James Maddison.
No,
Yeah, you would.
No.
Yeah, oh, whatever. Ben
We got the
Tanker,
no,
who's not injured, by the way. Ben Davis,
no,
not injured, doesn't fancy it. Kudos,
No.
no.
not injured, doesn't fancy it. Kulusevski,
No.
He is injured, to be fair.
he
to him,
is
but no.
injured, but you wouldn't take Kulusevski, no?
No,
Do you not
Why?
think do you not think a front three with Madison, Kulusevski, Kudos, and Solanke up top? Do you not think that team?
Championship.
No, you don't think that team's like mid-table. I think
No.
that front four is quite good. I do.
I think that front four is the front four that is exactly where they want to be. Because if you look at West Ham's front four, Tati Castellanos better than Dominic Solanke, Jared Bowen better than Mohamed Kudus, Mateus Fernandez better
I
than
love
James
Tati,
Maddison,
mate. He's brilliant, isn't he? He has
Crescencio
really
Somerville.
impressed me massively.
Somerville better than any of the Spurs left wingers, and look where West Ham are.
Right, so West Ham's team, right? Emerson, are you having him? I mean, not in your teams, but like Chelsea or United, because they're never going to play there, are they? But just like, would you like? Are they better than Spurs? Let's do better than Spurs. West Ham better than Spurs. So Hermison
Better than Vicario, yeah.
Yeah.
Vicario's awful. And Kingsley's awful.
Kyle Walker-Peters better than Porro.
Better than Pedro. Yeah, better than Pedro Porro.
I think they're both equally as bad. Mavropanos better than Romero.
Yes.
What?
He's certainly more reliable
This
and trustworthy.
comparison.
Certainly more reliable and trustworthy. Christian Romero should just be banned from football.
What?
Like,
Oh
I'm not being funny. I've got no sympathy for his knee injury yesterday after some of the injuries he's inflicted on other people. I got no sympathy for the lad at all.
Right, Disassi,
No.
Disaster.
No.
Malik Diouf.
No.
Actually, do you know what? I actually quite like Malik Diouf at left back. He's okay. He'd be all right. He's okay.
He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah. He's okay.
Jared Bowen.
Oh yeah.
Mateus Fernandez.
Yeah.
100%. Sign him in the summer.
What?
Mate,
100%.
100% at United. 100%. 100%.
Really?
Yeah, I really, really rate him. I think he's really good. I think he's too good to be in that West Ham side. I do.
Souček.
No,
Somerville.
he'd be a squad player. Yeah, I like Somerville. He's good.
Pablo. Can't work him out. I mean, he's just a massive
No.
lump, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just stick the big lad up there.
Tati.
He works hard, doesn't he?
I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player.
He's okay.
Really impressive.
He'd look good on Man United's bench.
So obviously West Ham are competing with them. Then you got Forest. I think Forest have got a decent side, haven't they? Decent side.
Probably the best overall squad probably out of the three teams that are down there.
So are they going down then?
Yes.
Connor, are they going down?
Tottenham, yeah.
Adam? You totally said yeah.
100%. I've said yeah for weeks.
No, they're not going down for me.
Wouldn't it be
It's going to
just a
heat up though, mate,
fantastic end?
innit?
It'd be a fantastic end to the season to see Tottenham relegated and Arsenal
Oh,
bottle it.
shut up. I know what you're going to
Like,
say
what
already.
an end to the season
Shut
for North
up.
London.
Shut up.
Spurs
It'd be
got this
great if
weekend?
you
Is it league?
finish below 10th. It would be great.
Listen, I'll take finishing below 10th. If Spurs go down and you bottle this title, I will take finishing below 10th. As long as it then results in the sacking of Liam Rosenior.
Right.
We'll just finish third, mate, and vibes. We'll just finish third.
No one
And then give
cares
Carrick
about
the
United,
job, and
mate.
12 months
No
later
one
sack
cares.
Carrick and put Darren Fletcher back in interim charge, and then give Nicky Butt the
Yeah.
job this time and recycle it that way.
And Paul
Yeah,
Scholes
standard,
comes
yeah.
on.
Standard, yeah. Ole Gunnar
Player
Solskjaer will be on the
recruitment,
phone,
Paul
mate.
Scholes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you, I'll be putting money on the next United manager, Anderson. He's in there next.
Anderson.
Anderson.
No,
They-
don't.
They love a classic midfielder to go back in as gaffer.
Oh, right, him.
Anderson.
Left field shout. The other ones, right? The big JP, mate. The big JP, John Philippe, mate, on the pull during the after he comes back. I couldn't believe he came back. I was like, well, I didn't know he'd been playing the past 3 games, but he came back, mate. Scored the goals. I love him. I absolutely we've never done this podcast before this time, but Ashley Barnes was my man. Ashley Barnes, number 10, AB 10 for Burnley. He was my man. And I just get these little affiliations with players. I'm like, I just love a big striker who just rip it up. And John Philippe is that man. Mate, the man's got aura. The man is just a brilliant goal scorer. He is absolutely massive. When he
Do you know what?
kicks that corner flag, he nearly breaks it every time.
I know. Do you know what's crazy? If you would have signed Jean Philippe instead of Victor Gyökeres, you probably would have won the league by now.
I said we should have signed Mateta. I said we should have signed him. And everybody, I remember being at Sluggers and everyone saying, what do you mean you'd sign Mateta? No, he's not Arsenal standard. He is class. He is legit. He is the man.
I'd take him. I'd take him, absolutely.
He's probably the Palace player you should have signed over Eze, to be fair.
Oh, I love Eze, mate. Love Eze. But Mateta, well and truly back. And the fact that I didn't put him in my fantasy team because they said he'd be out. So I didn't put him in my sleeper. And he goes and scores 2 goals. And I had not Ego Jesus. I had Ego Jesus up front. And I can't remember the other one is. But but Mateta is well and truly back. And I love him. Love him.
Oh, Jean Philippe.
So then that moves us on swiftly from Crystal Palace to Newcastle. Come on, Newcastle.
I really think Eddie Howe's in some trouble there. I really do. I
was expecting a club statement today.
Yeah.
I was expecting him being sacked. I've said this for months.
I think they'll probably give him till the end of the season because I think there is that appreciation of him getting them into the Champions League and obviously winning that Carabao Cup and them challenging for Europe in the last couple of years. This year, I mean, it's really not gone to plan. They've been beaten home and away by Sunderland, which is a massive, massive thing. And I think it probably is time now. You know, we've spoken a lot already about managers to take teams to the next step. If Newcastle really are serious about going on and becoming a force and using all this money, wherever they're getting this money from, if they're really, really serious about that, I think they are going to be looking elsewhere in the summer for somebody else to take that responsibility on. I think Eddie Howe's a good manager. I think he's a solid Premier League manager, and I think he will be one of those that will go to a team that are probably lingering in mid-table and might just propel them slightly, but always be in and around that mid-table conversation. I don't think he's the person that's going to take them to where they want to go. I think they'll look for bigger.
Completely agree.
I don't know where they'll look. I mean, there has been talk. We've mentioned him already. There has been talk of Mourinho going in there. He said previously about his next club when he goes to England won't be a European club. Well, Newcastle aren't going to be playing in Europe next season at this moment in time. It really would not surprise me to see Mourinho go and do a couple of years there at Newcastle.
The quicker Jason Tyndall sack, mate. I can't stand that bloke. Cannot stand him.
I tell you what, though, wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if Eddie Howe is Chelsea's manager by August.
And that is a shout, isn't it? They could
I
actually
mean,
take him out of that
me.
contract
It wouldn't
Yeah.
shock me either. There was talks when
before
we
he gets
sacked
sacked.
Maresca.
Yeah,
There was talks when we
Great
sacked
shout.
Maresca that we'd
Yeah.
we'd supposedly held talks, or at least looked to sort of gauge some interest from Eddie Howe. And at the time, as he said throughout his time there, when he was linked with the England job, he's been very committed to Newcastle. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me to see him end up at Chelsea. To be fair, it would not shock me at all.
I saw William Asula was starting up front, and I know he scored, but you've got your two strikers who you bought, both fit, sat on the bench. One you're trying to shoehorn into midfield like you did Joel Linton. That works once in a blue moon, doesn't it? Like those kind of players go in transitioning positions so dramatically, like Joel Linton, who was more of a number 10 anyway, but to actually go as more like an 8. You know, that transition can happen either really good or really badly. But yeah.
The players they bought in the
Vortamada's a
summer
good
just
player.
make no sense.
But I think
They're
he's a good
just-
player for Armada. I think Vitta's,
Do you see the
a shot
clip
in
of
the
Vitta?
pan, isn't he?
Do you see the clip of Vitta at the end of the game?
No.
I don't know if he came on or not. I didn't actually watch the Newcastle Palace game, but he at the end of the game he swapped shirts with Jean-Philippe in a Premier League game after they just got beat. He literally swapped shirts with Jean-Philippe.
I'd be swapping shirts with John Philippe.
Yeah, I know he would, but considering
Mate, I
that
bet he
you
smells
barely...
amazing during the game. I bet he does, mate. I bet he
I think
does.
that's just-
What do you reckon
I
he
think that-
wears?
I think
Something expensive.
he's got to be high range Hugo Boss sort of line, and surely.
Hugo Boss, you think?
I reckon, yeah.
That's our question to our guests, you know. When we get the guests on, you talk about Peter Crouch asking about the phone service.
Yeah, Jurgen
Yeah.
Klopp's phone provider.
That's ours. What aftershave do you wear?
Yeah, that's our signature question. Leave it in the comments. What do you think Jean-Philippe wears?
Mate, I'm starting a petition. Get John Philippe on the pod.
Listen,
Get John Philippe on the pod. Quote this now. Get him on the pod. Get it to John Philippe. We want you on the pod, mate. I think you're amazing.
he was very clearly trying to wear Liv Bazaglo the other night. I don't think Tom Garrett was too impressed, was he?
Sorry, Tom.
Mate, he's just brilliant, mate. He's brilliant. He is just, what a player. Right, are we done with Premier League? Are we going elsewhere?
I think so. Let's take a trip
What do you
elsewhere,
think
shall we?
tonight, Ads? Obviously, this will go on after the United game, so you might have lost by this point. I hope you have. But,
we
big game
definitely
against Leeds.
We wouldn't have lost against Leeds tonight. Yeah, obviously we recorded it before the United game kicks off. I'm a little bit worried about the fact that we've not played a lot of football within the last 2-3 weeks. Obviously, Leeds have had their FA Cup victory against West Ham recently, so they've got more minutes in the tank than us recently. But I think we're at home. We've got everything to play for, especially with the Chelsea result. Obviously, Villa dropping points as well. We can go 3 points clear of Villa on the same games. I think we can really cement our position as third place if we beat Leeds tonight. It's a derby, yes. Leeds are pretty much on the beach, I'd say, at this point. They're pretty much on the beach, I'd probably say.
I wouldn't say they are.
I wouldn't say they're on the beach,
Leeds
mate.
still aren't
33
safe yet.
points.
They're
I
still
wouldn't
not
say they're on the
safe.
bench. I know, and in your opinion, they are safe because you said that Tottenham are going
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's really out of Forest, West Ham, and Tottenham. But
Yes.
honestly, if Leeds lose tonight and West Ham, Forest, and Tottenham all win, they're in it. They're in the relegation zone. So it's yeah.
I
Massive
still think we'll have too much for
It's
him.
for
I think
Daniel Farker.
Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder in the world, so we'll be fine.
Well, he's not though, is he?
Well, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
On probably controversial opinion with my Man United spectacles on, but even if Arsenal or City win the league, and I know one of them will,
No,
Bruno if
no.
Bruno Fernandes breaks the assist record, Bruno should win Player of the Year.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yes. Best
I am
midfielder in the
not
world.
in the opinion of that where you go, okay, just because you win the league that you win Best Player of the Year. But Declan
Yep.
Rice is Best Player of the Year. Hands down.
No.
Hands down.
No.
Hands down. Hands
No.
down.
No.
Bruno is too technically gifted to get in our team. That's why you need a Declan Rice who runs all day and just bullies people. You need him.
That's why you've got Martin Odegaard who passes it back and does all of his hair flicks every 30 seconds and just gives it
You
in.
play a
gives it back.
midfield, right, of Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Zubamendi.
Yeah.
Right? Why am I seeing Martin Odegaard against Lisbon playing all in midfield? Why? Why does he need to come and get the ball? I'm sick of this overthinking about rotations. Can we just bin off certain elements of tactics? Can we just bin it off?
And you said that Bruno Fernandes is too technically gifted to be in the Arsenal team.
Yeah.
He walks into in the 10, mate. He walks into any team in the world.
Yeah, I know. I'd love him to be part of the team. I would. I'd love Cunha as well. I think he's a fantastic footballer.
Yes,
Fantastic
but
footballer.
yeah, Bruno should win Player of the Year.
No, he shouldn't.
Yeah, he should.
No, he shouldn't. Mate, get your United. You'll be saying bloody Lamens just because he can actually be a goalkeeper, unlike Onana, who's going to make it in the TQQ in the next series that we do. Because he's shockingly bad.
He probably is, mate. But while you go and get your water bottle and you have your trophy at the end of the year,
Don't start coming to me.
Bruno will be taking home the Player of the Year award, so it's fine.
No, he won't.
He will.
No, he won't. Mate, I hope you lose tonight. Obviously, I know. I'm looking at who would you take, Con? Lamens or Darlow? I know which one I'd take.
I'd take Lamens over Carl Darlow.
Thank you,
You're
Con.
not playing along here, are you? James
he was-
Justin or
No,
Mazraoui?
he's going to say he's looking for a bite there, and it didn't come.
I'd take James Justin over Mazraoui.
Boring, Con. I tell you, I'd definitely take over Martinez. Patrick Straug. What a player, mate.
Isn't it Pascal Straug?
Pascal Straug. What did I say? Patrick.
Patrick Straug.
Patrick Starr.
Patrick Starr.
Mate, I'd have Calvert-Lewin over Sesko any day.
Hey, I'm not
Right,
even,
can we
I'm not even
talk
more
about
into
Okafor being better than Fernandes this year? Because I think that is legit.
I'm not even looking at these bites, mate. I'm just not even warranting them with a response.
Right, Ahmed
There's no
Diallo
point.
is
You're
so
just-
overrated.
Just bitter because you're not going to win the league. Stop trying to put it on me. Just
Right.
bitter.
On a serious note, though, Tankanaka over Casemiro any day. On a serious note.
Right. I don't think we can put that in the pod because you called him Tankanaka when his name's Tanaka. And he's not better than Casemiro for 2.
And today's Leeds United lineup features Patrick Starr and Tankanaka,
We've got Thomas the Tank Engine and Patrick Starr in the Leeds team.
with Calvert-Lewis up front.
No.
Right, let's go out of the Prem. Let's go to the Championship. Because it's all happening in the Championship. Coventry obviously drew on the weekend. And we speak about Frank Lampard the other week, and hopefully they get it over the line. But do we think Wrexham are going to make the playoffs?
No.
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 They were terrible yesterday. I watched the game against Birmingham. They didn't lay a glove on Birmingham at all. They were really, really poor. Didn't look in it at all. The big defensive mishaps for both the goals. Yeah, I mean, I think that they 4 points off Hull now with the same amount of games played. And Hull have looked a fairly tidy team all season. They've sort of crept in there and managed to stay there. And I think they've probably got enough about them in 4 games to not allow for Wrexham to catch them and sneak in.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to get it. I think there's teams above them that are better.
Who?
I think
Go on.
I think them getting smashed by Southampton. I think it might have been last weekend or before the international break. I could be wrong, but I think them getting smashed by Southampton is the real nose diving point.
So at the moment, out of them teams in that playoffs, I'm guessing we think Ipswich are going to go up. You don't think Millwall or
the Ipswich have got a couple of games in hand, haven't they?
Yeah, 2 games. Yeah.
So, and I think they'll probably pick up at least probably 4 points from those, if not all 6. So I think Ipswich will join Coventry because Coventry have got to lose these last 4 games, I think, by a score of 8-0 in each one to not go up. So they're away at Blackburn on Friday night, so they should secure their promotion there, which would be brilliant. And I think, Ipswich will go up with them automatically.
Well, I really would have thought they would have secured it already, especially drawing 0-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. That was a really weird result.
They've been taking
Really
points off people,
strange.
though, haven't they, Wednesday?
They have, but I would have thought Coventry would have just gone there and smashed them.
So playoffs then, Millwall, Middlesbrough, Southampton or Hull?
Southampton.
Yeah, I'll probably go Southampton to go up.
In their current form, you'd say. I mean, they don't lose games, do they? In their current
No.
form.
No.
I'd love for Millwall to come up.
Love Millwall, it'd be unbelievable if they come. I mean, particularly if West Ham stay up, that would be, something else.
Who's going down then? Because at the moment, it's obviously Sheffield Wednesday are gone. It's Leicester, Oxford, Portsmouth, West Bromwich Albion, who apparently, as we're recording this podcast, have got a points deduction. If I'm right with that, or is it in effect? Is it done or?
I think it is in effect for this season. I'm pretty certain. I could be wrong though. I only saw it briefly before. So
Blackburn, probably not in it. Would you say?
Yeah, I think Blackburn. Have probably just got enough to see them over the line. I'm very, very worried for Leicester. I think Leicester will be playing League One football next season.
Do you think West Brom will?
I think West Brom will stay up.
Do you?
I mean, this will all depend on the points deduction. I think it's a small points deduction they're going to get, and I don't think it's yet been decided whether it'll come into place this season or whether it'll be at the start of next season. But I think West Brom will probably stay up. I hope Oxford stay up because Oxford sacked Gary Rowett and brought in Matt Bloomfield. Matt Bloomfield's picked up some results for them and moved them closer to staying up. And Gary Rowett has obviously then gone in as interim manager at Leicester and could then take them down. So I do hope Oxford stay up. I worry for Portsmouth. Portsmouth just haven't been able to find any sort of consistency this season in picking up results. But I mean, there's some huge games coming up in the Championship this weekend. Derby are at home to Oxford, and Derby is still trying to get into the playoffs. Leicester are away at Portsmouth, 12:30 on Saturday, which is a huge game down at the bottom of the Championship. Absolutely massive.
You think if Leicester want to stand any chance of actually staying in the league, they need to go and beat Portsmouth, don't they?
Yeah, but Portsmouth this weekend went away to Middlesbrough and picked up a 1-0 win in the 97th minute. So there's performances maybe starting to come from Portsmouth that might just help them keep their heads above the water.
Championship and League One, there's a proper dogfight, isn't there? In the Championship and League One, dogfights.
So League One, drop into that, Con. And you want to speak about some stuff in League One?
Well, Lincoln have already been promoted. They've had an absolutely fantastic season. Michael Scabala, who I think was a youth coach at Leeds for a while and then got that job at Lincoln, has done an unbelievable job. I think many expected Cardiff to walk the league. They are in second and they are 10 points ahead of third place Bradford. They've got a game in hand, but they're 12 points behind Lincoln. Lincoln sit on 93 points with 4 games to go and just relentlessly winning games and winning them effectively. The playoffs is interesting. There's a few teams that are maybe sort of on the cusp, but may not quite get there. Bradford, Bolton, Stockport and Stevenage are the current teams in that playoff mix, but you've got Plymouth, Huddersfield, Reading and Luton, who are all lingering close by. Luton with a couple of games in hand. Fantastic result on Sunday for them.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
to
really
see him
good result.
A trophy, brilliant for him. Top lad, top player. He was.
Early trophy and Arsenal affiliate will be lifting this season.
I hope not. So we can't really do a prediction who's going to go up there. Anything more on League One, Con?
I mean, the bottom of League One's very interesting. I mean, Port Vale, Northampton and Rotherham look like they're all down already. Port Vale have got 4 games in hand on some teams, but are currently 16 points adrift. So look as if they're out of it.
They're gone. Why have they got so many games? What's happened there? Is that because they went so far in the FA Cup and stuff?
FA Cup, yeah, and I think they've had some games postponed because of the weather at times. But it's from 21st upwards, really. Exeter sit there on 47 points, and then Wimbledon and Leyton Orient are just outside on 50, and then you've got Blackpool, Burton and Peterborough on 51, Wigan on 52, even as far as Doncaster and Mansfield in 13th and 14th on 53.
Oh my lord!
You think they're maybe still a little bit. Mansfield have got a couple of games in hand as well that might help them out, but I'd certainly say from Wigan in 15th down are in quite a lot of trouble still with 3-4
For
games
one
left to
place,
go.
really, though, isn't it? Like Rotherham
Yeah.
aren't gonna.
No, Rotherham
They're gone.
are gone. Yeah.
What's happened to
They're-
Rotherham as well? Because they were a big club, weren't they? They're a big club.
I mean, they yo-yoed between the Championship and League One for a number of years, and were always in the playoff chase to get into the Championship. Got up there, came back down, got up, came back down. For a long time they did that.
Turn the lights off, pal.
I think that's what is happening at Rotherham. To be fair, the lights are being turned off.
The lights have turned off,
and they're
The
on the way
lights have turned
down.
off.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
not
think
looking
they're
good
gonna go
for
down
them.
Then? Because Blackpool have just beat Peterborough 3-1. I think Peterborough are right in it, mate.
Big result. Peterborough are right in it, but they've got a couple of games in hand on Blackpool and Exeter.
Okay. Yeah.
So they might be able to pick something. I'd worry for Wimbledon and Leyton Orient. Selfishly, I'd quite like Burton to come down because that's not a bad trip for an away day for Shrewsbury for next season. It's fairly close. I don't quite fancy going down to Exeter on a Tuesday night. So I think Burton are maybe in trouble. But yeah, I worry for Wimbledon and Leyton Orient the most if Exeter can get out of it.
Okay, and just a quick one on League Two for the mighty Shrewsbury Town.
Finally secured safety, which just feels so embarrassing to say after being relegated from League One. But what we have been able to do is to break the curse. For the last couple of years, the team that's finished bottom of League One has then ended up being relegated out of League Two as well. So we've managed to stop that curse. You've got to give a lot of credit to Gav Cowan, Dave Edwards and Jamie Haynes since they've come into the club. I think they've got about a 50% win record. They went those 5 games in a row, which really helped to lift us, and have picked up some points from other places since. I mean, the football is still dire, but what do you expect with a squad of players who are, really, really quite poor? And another win at the weekend. Oldham, quite unlucky, really. They definitely should have scored some goals. The Shrewsbury goal, unbelievable header from Will Boyle. How he generates the power on it from the little dink that comes in from Taylor Perry and finds the corner. Fantastic header. But yeah, secured safety. The relegation scrap is going to go down to the final day. That's going to be a very, very interesting one. You've got Harrogate rock bottom. Well, Harrogate are rock bottom on 33. Barrow are 23rd on 33. Then you've got Newport, Crawley and Tranmere all on 37. But what's interesting is on the final day of the season, Barrow host Newport, which could be massive down there. Absolutely massive.
Loser goes down sort of game, that could be.
And I mean, Barrow and Tranmere have both got games in hand on the others around them. So, I mean, if Barrow were to win that and get to 36, and Tranmere can't buy a win at the moment, they're on a terrible run of form, it could be very, very interesting down at the bottom of the table. And the playoffs is just the same. Bromley looked as if they were going to be walking the league, but were beaten by MK Dons at the weekend. MK Dons are now within 4 points of them at the top there. Cambridge are just behind on 77. And then the playoffs, you've got Notts County, Swindon, Salford and Chesterfield. Chesterfield sitting on 69 points, and you've got Grimsby on 68, Barnet on 67, Crewe are on 66, Oldham are on 65, and they've all got, well, Grimsby have got a couple of games in hand as well, so could see themselves fly into the playoff contention and into the top 7 there,
mate.
All to play for.
Next season, you're having a show on here, the EFL corner with Con.
Yeah,
You've got to, mate. We want Shrewsbury Town reviews and Shrewsbury Town every single week. We've got to. We've just got to have that on. Right, let's go to what me and Adam more know about, which is the Champions. So, Champions League, because it's the quarterfinals right now. Let's speak a little bit about that, because it's just the best in it. The Champions League is just everything.
Yep.
It is just the pinnacle
really
of a sport in it, especially football, I think.
Yeah, some of the players on show and some of the attacking football especially, like
The new format
just
just completely changed the game, hasn't it?
Yeah, I thought when it first happened, I thought, it's not the traditional Champions League format. It's probably not going to be as good, but actually, in terms of the games that you get in the latter stages of the competition, especially, they're a lot better.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
and
brilliant.
they're a lot more competitive as well, because you think even with the old format, you'd get games where you go, well, they're automatically through, and
Yeah.
it would just be basically like another group stage game. Whereas this time, I think you get into the knockout stages, and every game is a big game.
So let's talk about some of the first legs first before we preview the next games going forward. So PSG Liverpool. I say it because I think he is honestly one of my favourite footballers of all time at the moment. Is Kvaratskhelia, which I've absolutely butchered that as a name. But what a player. Honestly, to watch him, mate, and he is just full throttle, 100 mile an hour, gets the ball, and he's gone. And he's literally, I'm beating you with so much technical ability. It's scary how good that lad is. It's
Yeah,
scary. The way he finishes, the way he pops up in different positions and just seems to have a free roll and goes wherever he wants to. He's just unbelievable. I love him. And that whole PSG team, you know, but we say this, they're 2-0 up against Liverpool, go into Liverpool. What do you think?
no, I don't. I don't see PSG. I don't see a reality where PSG do not go through.
When Liverpool get going, though, and if they score the first goal, Liverpool,
I don't think it matters this season. I think
do you
Liverpool have
really
been so.
not?
No, I don't. I think Liverpool have been so far off it, and they're so, like, I want to say, almost like tactically inept in certain situations. I don't see how the Anfield crowd is going to get them over the line. I really don't. Not against that PSG side. That PSG side is absolutely, it's the best team in the world, and I think they're going to win the Champions League again. They're like the whole balance, the way they got their attacking players, the defenders, the midfielders controlling it. Like, they are the best team, and they will beat them. I don't think I don't think it even matters if Liverpool score the first goal. There is no way that Liverpool back four, back five, or whatever they want to play are stopping PSG scoring at least twice.
I don't know, mate. I think PSG are up there to win it. I think it's either them or Bayern. But
I thought he was going to say either them or Arsenal.
no. We are secretly going to win it, and I'll see you in Budapest. But PSG, we are making it to the final. We are. It's going to happen. But anyway, so PSG, I think if Liverpool score the first goal, it doesn't matter on paper what these two sides show for me. When that crowd gets going and then players start going, you could see Salah having the best game of his Liverpool career to see him out to send them into the semi-finals.
I can understand what you're saying, but not for me.
Okay.
Not for me. Liverpool aren't on the same level as they have been in previous years. No.
Real Madrid Bayern. That is a game that's in the balance. Again, we talk about Harry Kane and how good that lad is. But it's brilliant to see them playing such great football. Such attacking. It's what I want for the Arsenal. It's the attacking flow, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's set up brilliantly, that game at Bayern. Because I think
I
Bayern are the favourites, I think, personally.
I I think I think Bayern may really, really regret letting Real Madrid get a goal.
Do you
Not letting
think?
them. I think so, yeah. I think Champions League,
At
mate,
Bayern?
semi-final. I Champions League semi-final. Real Madrid have always got something in the locker.
I don't
Doesn't
think they
matter
have
how
this year,
poor.
mate. They're
I don't
poor.
think. I
They're
I
poor.
just I disagree. Champions League is their tournament. It is their baby. They will pull out
Why
all the
is that,
stops.
though? Why is that, though?
It must be just be like
It's mentality,
force.
innit?
Yeah,
They
it's
can't be
force fed
arsed the
into
league,
them.
can they? They can't be
No,
arsed. They're
no,
not
they don't care.
running as much. Drawing against 1-1 against Girona. Like, they
I,
just can't be bothered. And they'll turn it on, won't they? Like you say, they will turn it on.
yeah, I think genuinely, if you ask Real Madrid fans, what would you rather? If you said to them, "Oh, Barcelona will win the league for the next 5 years, but will win two Champions Leagues," they will take two Champions Leagues, 100%.
Con, what do you think about that game?
I think Bayern will have too much for them. I think Bayern will go through. I could see Bayern scoring 2, 3, maybe even 4 past them, particularly at the Allianz.
Could you?
And really, yeah. Yeah, I just think
I love that Harry
Bayern...
Kane scored at the Bernabeu as well. I think like that, just as an English fan, to watch someone score at the Bernabeu, I just think that's an amazing moment because it doesn't happen to many people. You know, I know it's happened to Jude Bellingham every week he plays there, but to go there as Harry Kane, to go and score, I thought it was a brilliant moment. But you think they'll turn him over very, very comfortably, Con?
I think so, yeah. I think so. With just the forward line they've got, the numbers that Kane, Elise, Diaz are chucking up this season is just unbelievable. And I think, yeah, they'll have too much of them and they'll go through quite comfortably.
Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. I watched this game. I decided not to watch the other game on the channel, which was PSG Liverpool. I decided to watch Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. And Atletico Madrid were bloody brilliant. They were brilliant. They were proper football. They were playing attacking football. They were trying to win the game. And I know it doesn't help that obviously Barcelona went down to 10 men very early on. And that did change the course of the game. It did. But who's going to go through there?
I think Atletico will. I think they will just scrape it. I mean, I think Simeone made 10 changes to the side at the weekend, and they did lose in the league. So he's obviously keeping those players ready for this game. And I think they will, you know, they are solid defensively when they're really on it. You know, that's very much how he likes to set up his sides, is to be that aggressive, that solid back line. And I think they will probably just go through.
What do you think, Ad?
I'm going to give a very standard sitting on the fence answer. I think the longer the game goes on 0-0, the more it benefits Atletico. If Barcelona score within the first 10-15 minutes, I'm having Barcelona to go through.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. If they get an early goal, I've seen it before. Not Simeone, I know, is very, very defensively sound. I get it, and his teams are aggressive and they love defending. But that Hansi Flick Barcelona
that is
team,
a little
mate,
bit of a myth, though, mate. Like the past few years, they've been playing attacking football. They're balanced football. This media hype that they were going on about it in the last game, with them people who clearly don't watch Atletico Madrid. They are not as defensively as you think that they are. You think about Simeone, oh, he's just rigged defensively, deep blocks. No, they manage games. They attack really well. They do. You know, if results would have gone their way this season, they'd have been up there to win it. They would have been. They've beaten Barcelona. Barcelona have beaten them. So I understand what you're saying. If they get that early goal, I could see Atletico crumbling. I really could.
Yeah, if Barcelona get that early goal, yeah, I just think that Hansi Flick team, mate, at the minute, Barcelona, I think they haven't got the league wrapped up, but I have a feeling that the Barcelona players in that camp think that they've won the league. So now I'd imagine that they will want to turn their attention to the Champions League because there still is a chance that they can beat Atletico Madrid.
I think it's a night made for Lamine Yamal. He's a bloody awesome player, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's a night made for him. And then finally, Sporting Arsenal.
I would absolutely love it if Sporting Lisbon beat Arsenal. I would honestly.
Right.
I would love it, mate.
We pride ourselves on being quite a neutral podcast that says, you know, honest, truthful opinions, no biases. We're very neutral. You can't be saying that you want us to lose. As a fella, the only English side who's going to make it through to the semi-finals, wanting us to lose. You can't have that.
As Kevin Keegan once said, I'll bloody love it if they beat you. I bloody love it. No, honestly, mate, I couldn't care. Get Arsenal out of the Champions League. Couldn't care. Don't care about being unbiased. Get them out of the Champions League. Because not only, right, if you get through, but if you win
give
the
us some
entire
great opinions there on all them 3 games. And now you're just going, yeah, I'd just love it if they beat you. Well, that's not journalistic Jonesy, is it?
No, right. What I want to happen is I want Sporting Lisbon to beat you.
Yes.
Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't. I think I think you'll beat them comfortably. I think you'll beat them 3-0. Genuinely. I think Victor Gyökeres is definitely scoring. I think you'll beat them 3-0.
I put a tenner on him scoring a hat-trick in the last one. I thought he was just bound to be, but he didn't.
I
get
think
3 shots.
I think we're in for a real ball fest in that one again, and I think it's probably likely to remain 0-0, and you go through from that goal in the first leg.
Okay.
because I think that there's a part of me that thinks that maybe Arsenal will also have obviously one eye on that game on Sunday, and will maybe be thinking ahead to that and also the league challenge as well as that Champions League game. I mean, if you were to go out this week in the Champions League, it's going to push more onto Sunday and make that a bigger thing. But I think you will go through, and I think the longer you're in that competition, the less likely you are to win the league. So, brilliant.
So, right, let me take your prediction then. So, PSG or Liverpool?
PSG,
Real Madrid or Bayern?
Bayern,
Barca or Atletico?
Atletico,
Arsenal or Sporting?
Arsenal.
Okay, so that's Connor's predictions for the Champions League. Let's rear off from the Champions League. Let's go to the National League. Some interesting stuff in the National League.
Very interesting stuff in the National League. For years now, there has been talks of a campaign of having a 3-up, because obviously the Premier League 3 go down and 3 come up from the Championship. Championship 3 go down, 3 come up from League One. League One 4 go down, 4 come up from League Two. But League Two only 2 go down and 2 come up. But this year, I mean, like I said, this has been going on for years, this conversation and this debate. This year, though, might just be the year I think that finally becomes something to happen. It won't happen with this season, but I think from next season it could well be in place. York City are currently top of the National League, having played 44 games, and they sit on 104 points.
What?
So as it stands, they would go up
104?
automatically as champions. They have a plus 70 goal difference.
Plus 70?
Yeah. In second place,
Plus
having also
70?
played second place, having played 44 games also, is Rochdale with 102.
Sorry,
Third
York has
place,
got 110 goals.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. So
mental.
What could happen here, let's say if the table was to be exactly as it is now, York would go up as champions. Rochdale would then have to play in the playoffs. So I think fourth would play seventh. So you'd have Boreham Wood versus Southend, Scunthorpe versus Forest Green in a one-legged playoff knockout round. Then whoever wins that would go on to play either Rochdale or Carlisle. And the winners of that then go to Wembley for the playoff final. So what could happen here is Rochdale, who currently sit on 102 points, could miss out on going up to Southend, who currently sit 30 points behind them on 72. Where this gets really interesting in terms of the race for the title, last game of the season, Rochdale versus York.
Oh,
There's 2
my
points
God.
in it currently. There's 2 points in it currently, so that could be a case of winner goes up.
Oh, my. No way. There's 2 games left.
Yeah.
Rochdale versus York.
Depending on what Rochdale and York do this weekend, you know, if York were to win and Rochdale are to lose or draw, then York are up and they're champions. But if both are to win, or Rochdale are to win and York are to lose, it goes down to the final day.
Who do you think's going up?
I think York will do it.
You think?
I think they will go up as champions, and then I really do hope that it's Rochdale that go up through the playoffs, because they've had
got Yeovil now. They've got
phenomenal
Yeovil
season.
next. Yeovil next. We were 16th.
Yeah.
Rochdale have got Braintree away.
And Braintree are already down.
Already down.
Yeah.
So it's York, Rochdale.
Yeah.
Mate, wow.
Another very interesting thing from the National League that I've seen on social media comes from Forest Green and their manager, Robbie Savage.
Right.
Supporters have posted a video from the game on Saturday saying, well, this was odd, never been asked to stay behind after a game before. So Robbie Savage come over to the fans and got them to quiet down and said, listen, he said, I want you to make as much noise as possible. We're going to practice some penalties because we've got the playoffs. So he had players practicing penalties on the pitch whilst the fans behind the goal were making noise to try and get them.
Yeah, I can't say what I think about him on here, but he is the worst, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is the worst, mate.
I could, when I saw it, I thought surely this is somebody taking the mick to begin with, and it wasn't. It was genuine. The players were taking penalties at the end of the game with the fans behind the goal making some noise because they're preparing for the playoffs.
God, that's
So
embarrassing, isn't it?
I really hope Forest Green losing the playoffs.
Right. Let's just do a quick deep dive into some of these, a quick skim over some of these other topics that we got.
Leeds United are 1-0 up.
Brilliant. Who scored?
And it's Noah Okafor.
Ah, I told you, he's class. I told you. Right. So, Liga de Portugal, Benfica. You know, I'd say they're our Portuguese club, Benfica.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, you know, 29 games played at the moment. There's 69 points. They drew against Casapia. Casapia, who drew 1-1 with them. They just beat Nacional 2-0. I watched that game against Casapia because it was on in the pub in Lisbon, and they just really struggled to break down the low block. They had so many shots, though. Like, literally, they could have scored. They had 18 total shots. They had 3 on target, and they only scored 1. But there was, like, absolute uproar in Lisbon, mate, all on the TV screens. Like they were filming. The level of press that in these foreign countries, they just go ridiculous, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's not seen as a travesty, but as you've said, they've been doing really, really well. They've only conceded 18 goals all year. They've scored more goals than Porto, who are currently top. They've scored only 2 more goals, but they scored more goals. You know, Sporting behind them have only conceded 17 goals and scored 73. But what else were you saying about Benfica that's really surprising?
Well, they're unbeaten in the league this season. They are yet to lose a league game of football. But the biggest problem for them is they've drawn too many of the games that they haven't been able. They haven't lost. 9 games they've drawn. Well, Porto and Sporting have drew 9 games between them. And with 5 games of the league season left, to be sat 7 points behind Porto, absolutely it's doable still. But I can't see Porto dropping that many points as they go towards the end. Sporting have still got a game in hand on them both, so could move closer to Porto. So I think it probably then becomes a little bit of a 2-horse race. But
well, guess who Benfica got next?
Who've they got?
Sporting Lisbon away.
Big
so
game.
After they play us, they then got them on the 19th. So on the weekend, they've got them.
And I think the biggest thing that works in Benfica's favour is that Jose Mourinho is the manager. And if there's a man who's going to find a way to win and get you over the line, Mourinho is quite possibly that person. So I wouldn't rule them out of the title race fully, but I would say it's very unlikely. Even if they go unbeaten now till the end of the season, I still think it's maybe unlikely they get over the line there, but it would be phenomenal if they do.
So our Portuguese fans, anyone watching, get in the comments. But Benfica is the How Did They Play podcast football team that we're supporting, and hopefully we'll cover them next time we do a reaction to the weekend as well. Just wanted to finish up Rangers. You were mentioning about them earlier.
Yeah, title race in Scotland is going to go down to the wire as well. We've spoken about some of the EFL competitions and how close they are. Hearts are currently top on 70 points. Rangers are second on 69. Celtic are third on 67. Last game of the season is Celtic versus Hearts at Celtic, so could be a title decider. Hearts could win the league at Celtic Park, but they could also throw it away. Depending on how results go, a Celtic win that day might gift Rangers the title. So there is so much riding on these last 5 games of the season in Scotland. But Rangers yesterday, 2-0 down after 26 minutes, looked really poor, really sluggish, didn't look up for it at all. Managed to get a goal back just before half-time, so made it 2-1. And then by the 58th minute, Rangers were 4-2 up. Falkirk then go and get themselves a penalty, score it, make it 4-3 with 20 minutes left to play, and then Rangers just turn it on a little bit further and end up coming out 6-3 winners in that game there. But yeah, title race there again, just like some of the other competitions we've spoken about already, is probably going to go down to the final day with some huge matches still to come. Obviously, all 3 of those teams have still all got to play each other in that final round of fixtures they do. Rangers have still got to play Hearts. They've still got to we've still got to have another Old Firm derby, and then Hearts go to Celtic on the final day of the season, which could be a very interesting one.
It's all eating up everywhere. It's all eaten up, and it's the time of the season to be talking about, 1 minute you're collapsing, 1 minute it's just dire straits, and you want to just literally crawl up in the ball and die. And the opposite end is absolute elation because teams are winning the league and players are defining moments. I'm going to call it there for today's.
Well, I just want to really quickly mention over in Serie A, Como versus Inter that I watched last night. Fantastic game of football. Como 3, Inter 4. Como were 2-0 up just before half-time. Inter pulled a goal back and then just absolutely steamrolled in the second half to go 4-2 up. Como pulled a late goal back through a penalty and it finished 4-3. Inter, the start of that second half, were absolutely phenomenal. But Fabregas still doing great things at Como, but a little bit of a wobble in their journey last night as well. Yeah, that's the final thing that I just wanted to mention there.
That's a big win for Inter as well. Napoli just can't get any consistency, can they? They won 5 on the bounce and they drew against Parma on the weekend. Just can't get consistency. But I watched the Napoli game against AC Milan, and that was just a great game. To watch some of these players play in the top leagues, and I think that's what this podcast is all about. How did they play? But I hope you're listening to it, and maybe definitely not at this point. An hour and 38 in. But I just think it just shows that we absolutely love it, and it's every single league in the world we are following, and we're trying to watch as much football as we possibly can. I don't want to bore you with me MLS stuff, but some unbelievable goals have been scored the last weekend. I'd really recommend going to watch it, especially the Nashville goals that were scored. Unbelievable goals, right? I'm talking. I know the goalkeeping's questionable, the defending is questionable as well. But I'm going to bore you with some of the stuff. So Inter Miami have dropped points against New York Red Bulls. So they drew 2-2 in a game where obviously Leo Messi was unbelievable. Colorado Rapids up the Rob Holding, mate, and I love a bit of Colorado Rapids for the Jack Price Barmy Army. But they won 6-2 on the weekend against Houston Dynamo, which is a massive game for them. Rafa Navarro scoring twice, so it's a brilliant result for them. Things are really heating up in there. Vancouver Whitecaps with Thomas Muller in the side are absolutely flying. They're brilliant side to watch. They've got a young lad who plays on the wing. I think it's Is it Badval? Yeah, Badval. Jaden Badval. Absolute brilliant player. 20 years of age. He's a lightning quick winger, but they've got a great team. They've got Sebastian Berherter just behind them in the midfield, a top centre midfielder. Hopefully he'll be at the World Cup. I'm not sure if he will, but hopefully he will be. He seems to be playing consistently for USA at the moment. Elsewhere, Los Angeles FC. Heung-min Son, even though he's not scoring or assisting at the moment, he's really struggling for form. But he's about. But unfortunately, they lost to Portland Timbers in their last game. But they looked like they were going to run away with it all. Being there, LA Galaxy, who are probably, I would say, is my team in the MLS. But I kind of just follow them all. They seem to be struggling again. But Nashville FC, they're flying. Sam Surridge up front, mate. He's class. He is absolutely class. He's flying. They've got a big game in the CONCACAF, but they've just beat Charlotte FC. And Charlotte FC, obviously, they have Wilfried Zaha. They have Dean Smith, their manager. Them two both didn't play. Tim Ream, still playing football. But yeah, absolutely flying. Nashville are absolutely flying. They rotated a little bit, but they still won that game. So all things are really heating up in the MLS. You've got Josh Sargent playing up front for Toronto. He scored his first goal last weekend. You got New York City up there. You got Chicago Fire. They're just brilliant. I love it. Anyway, we'll call it there, Con, because it's been a while. And
it has been a long one.
It's been a long one, but loads of stuff to talk about and loads of clips come out of it. So tune in next one where we're looking at, I don't even know. I've lost track. Probably CXI or something.
Yeah, some are football related.
Right, take care.